Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Monday, the 21st of February. Robert Murray McShane's readings keep us going through Paul's letter to the Corinthians. Today, 1 Corinthians chapter 8, where Paul's looking at how Christians relate to food that has been sacrificed to idols. And his basic point is that idols are nothing. We serve the living God, and that's all that matters. In verse 8, he says, "But food does not bring you near to God. You know worse if you eat, and no better if you do." It's not about food. But then he continues, "Be careful, however, that the exercise of your rights does not become a stumbling block to the weak. For if someone with a weak conscience sees you with all your knowledge eating in an idol's temple, won't that person be emboldened to eat what is sacrificed to idols? So this weak brother or sister for whom Christ died is destroyed by your knowledge." So what Paul is saying, as I read it, is that whether you eat or don't is of no consequence. You can even go and eat in an idol's temple, and it's not going to affect you if you're eating with faith. The question is how it affects other people. And I know of some Christians, good and otherwise sensible Christians, who came with a huge issue about eating halal food because they say a prayer when the animal is slaughtered and therefore it's offered to idols. And you think, haven't you read Paul's letter to the Corinthians? So what? If they think they're offering it to an idol, that doesn't affect me. I don't Paul says, you're no better off eating if you eat or if you don't. What you've got to be careful is how what you do affects other people. So eating halal food, no problem. Buy it, eat it. If it's good quality, no, that's no issue. Halal or kosher or whatever it is. You can even go and go to a Buddhist temple and go and eat the food that is offered there, and it's really not going to affect you, according to what I read in Paul. However, if what you're doing is going to affect other people who might be have a weaker faith and be challenged and have their thinking confused and have their faith compromised, then you don't do it. And I had a good friend who was a priest in one of the mining areas, and he said that when he saw what happened on a Friday night, when the miners got their pay and on the way home from work, they stopped in at the pub and they drank half their salary away that evening and were drunk and abusive, and the amount of abuse that happened over the weekends. And then by Wednesday, the family was going hungry because all the money was gone. He said at that point, he could not drink in a situation like that because he had to be a witness to the community of a different lifestyle. And he said there's nothing wrong with drinking, but because of the community and the message that would be given to the community, he had to be teetotal in that space. And that is really putting into practice what Paul is teaching here. So enjoy everything that God has given. Receive it with thanksgiving and rejoice, but always be aware of what other people might see, what other people might think, and how what we do might affect them, because we always have to live in love. So be encouraged, be challenged, be blessed.